Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Nonstop Talking with your girl here, Vivian Liu. Today I will be discussing the best books I read in 2023. So in 2023, I would say like there was a big chunk of books I liked, and I liked about the same degree, same amount. So I was really contemplating whether I should even rank these titles, just because I don't think there was a clear favorite or even like a true like best of the best. But I've always done like a countdown and I've always ranked, so I felt like I had to like continue that. So there are 13 titles that I've selected to talk about today, and I also wanted to share with you that it's snowing today, and like I'm just looking at it from my window and it's pretty cool. The dead tree branches like just swaying with the snow. It's like somewhat picturesque, so I'm enjoying that, even though there's like this crazy glare and I don't know how to get rid of it because I don't know how things work. With that being said, let's get started. At number 13 is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Please ignore the washing machine. It's actually pretty loud. I shouldn't have done that, but you know what, the show must go on. So The Inheritance Game. I read the first book and really enjoyed it. I thought it was like so much fun. Unfortunately, the reason why this book isn't higher on the list is because I also read the second and third installment, and it didn't deliver the same level of like thrill and excitement that the first book had. And that's why it's just starting off the list. So in the first book, billionaire Tobias Hawthorne passes away, and he like gives his fortune to this unknown person, Avery. And now Avery is kind of like thrust into the spotlight. Paparazzi is like following her, and she's forced to live at the Hawthorne Manor, and now has to like cohabitate with Tobias's 4 good-looking grandsons. I'm gonna say, like, at first when I heard the plot, I was like, is this 公主小妹? But it's not, because there's like a whole like solving puzzles and mystery aspects to it, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really fun. So right now I have not completed the series since there's a 4th book. I will get to the 4th book, and then I will like know how I truly feel about the series in its entirety. Number 12 is a graphic novel memoir, and it's Huda F.R.U. by Huda Fahmy, and I hope I said that correctly. And I just randomly picked this up. It was like a graphic novel that was like on sale, and I enjoyed to read graphic novels from time to time. And it's about a Muslim girl growing up in Dearborn, Michigan, and trying to like figure herself out. And I thought it was funny. There were like some like lighthearted moments, some like growing pains. I don't know. It was like very like slice of life moments that I found relatable, so I really enjoyed it. In addition, I did find it funny. At number 11 is a BL manga series. It's Dekopoko by Atsuko Yusen. So I first heard about this from booktuber Elias's channel. It sounded really cute and interesting, so I decided to pick it up. I ended up reading volumes 1 and 2 and the 2 extra stories. The first volume I gave 5 stars. The second volume and the 2 extra stories I gave 4 stars. And overall, it's very adorable, and it's very cute, and like there are some like steamy moments, but it's also just like romantic as well. The story is about like 2 childhood friends who are the complete opposite. It's like Grump versus Sunshine with like a height difference, and it follows them like realizing their feelings for each other. At number 10 is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. So I heard booktuber Cindy talk about this book positively, and that's how it ended up on my radar. I decided to check it out, and I really enjoyed it. It follows 3 girls who are assumed to be like kidnapped, but they like disappear, and then they come back, and like just weird stuff kind of happens. Like they they're them, but then like something's different. But yeah, I really like the secrets, the intrigue, and like the creepy paranormal stuff that kind of happens. And look at that cover, like it's stunning, isn't it? Number 9 is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I am really happy to see a Christina Lauren book back on a favorites list. I feel like it's been a while. I feel like the recent books that I've picked up from Christina Lauren, I think it's mainly their backlog, just have not been able to like hit the same. So I'm really happy to be like, yes, Christina Lauren has delivered and is back for me. So The Soulmate Equation follows, I think the main character's name is Jess. Give me a second. Yes, so Jess is a single mom who partakes in this using DNA matchmaking service, and through that she like matches at like a really high percentage with the founder of the service, and I guess the company kind of like convinces them to like date. And I just thought like the couple like were really endearing. I found them really like lovable. Like it was easy to like root for their relationship, and the side characters, including like the best friend and like the child, I really liked them too. So I think like just like the entire cast in general was very lovable. And then that final epilogue was just so romantic and sweet. Number 8 is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. I heard like just a lot of praises for this book, and finally in 2023 I decided to pick up the audiobook. I do think the cover for this is also stunning, and it's just very beautiful and powerful. The author, in essay format, recounts growing up as a Black queer boy. There is a raw honesty in the storytelling that really just struck a chord with me. Number 7 is The Boy in the Black Suit by Jason Reynolds. A while back I read Long Way Down by this author and absolutely loved that to bits and pieces. So I was excited to pick up more from this author, and The Boy in the Black Suit just handles grief and loss beautifully. In this story we follow a young boy who loses his mom. His mom passes away, and after that he ends up helping out at the local funeral home and is constantly surrounded by other people's loss. And he, along the way, forms a relationship with this girl, and they have this like connection that was previously formed. It's not too hard to like figure out, like it wasn't like a surprising twist or anything like that, but I think it connects the story in such a striking way, building up to the conclusion. Number 6 is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. In this book, Mallory, while a teenager, decides to quit chess. Things happen, and then as like an early adult, is brought back into the world of chess and is then reunited with the current reigning champion. So with Check and Mate, it was obviously released later in the year. I didn't pick it up until December, so it's still relatively fresh in my mind, and that might be why it's higher on my list in comparison to the other romance novels I read in 2023. Regardless, I still really enjoyed Ali Hazelwood, and like excluding her short stories, Ali Hazelwood has not had like a miss for me. Like she's really solidifying herself as a romance author that just consistently delivers like romance stories that I will read and like fall in love with. In Check and Mate, I found the love interest charming, and I really enjoyed like it being centered around chess. I thought that was really unique. And the funny thing was, like around the same time I was also discussing with a coworker why like there weren't more female like grandmasters in chess. So yeah, I think like it bringing up that like issue or highlighting that was pretty cool as well. And honestly, going back, like Ali Hazelwood at this moment in time can do no wrong. Can do no wrong. Yeah, she's just giving me couples and romantic stories that I just fawn over. Number 5 is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I'm shocked. I like did not read this earlier in my life. I feel like I should have, but better late than never. I decided to download the audiobook when I decided to take a train trip down to San Diego. And I was just like, yeah, I'll just listen to it, you know, no big deal. But I ended up being like super invested and engaged in the story throughout that entire like train ride, and I was just really shocked at like how captivating or how captivated I was to the plot, and the issues that it brings up is still really relevant to this day, which is kind of unfortunate. And I this is like one of the few books I would like put down as like I would like to like reread this. In addition to that, it is part of a series. I didn't really like know that. Did I know that? And I don't know, should I continue on with the series in 2024? Let me know. Number 4 is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. A friend of mine was reading my review for this and was like, hey, after reading your review, I think I'm gonna pick this book up, and that made me like super happy. I actually first heard about this book in booktuber Katie Kostin's video, and I'm really glad that like I picked it up. It's a very tragic, passionate, and just like beautiful love story about two teenagers who meet in high school, and like in this 7-day span they bond over their like depression and addiction, and then they like lose contact, and both become like writers, and in a way like write about each other, and there was just something very like sad but really good about 7 Days in June. I guess in a way I could describe it as like haunting, because it definitely like lingered in my mind after finishing. Number 3 is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Yellowface was one of my most anticipated release for 2023. I was like ecstatic when it came out. I wanted to read it immediately. And the book follows Athena Liu, who is a rising author, a literary darling, and she's frenemies with this girl, I think, what is her name? So yeah, so she's frenemies with June Hayworth, who is also an author, but she did not reach the same like fame and acclaim as Athena, even though they like went to like the same writing program and were like published around the same time. Athena like just suddenly passes away accidentally, and June decides to steal Athena's manuscript and publish it with like an ambiguous name, and just like chaos ensues from there, and I was just really there for the chaos and like the fallout and all of that, and also I really enjoyed reading like the critical reviews of this book, and I agree with most of them, and I think like just like the whole experience of Yellowface was just a fun time. Number 2 is Naruto by Masashi Kishimoto. I set a reading goal for myself in 2023 that I was going to reread and this time complete the Naruto manga series in its entirety. I unfortunately, disappointingly, I'm a disappointment, did not reach that goal. I got up to like volumes 40 something. I am continuing it in 2024, and I will finish in 2024, I promise. But yeah, so I've just been like really enjoying the reread, and then going into the parts that like I didn't get to. I think the world building in this is great. It like explores a lot of like morality and ethical questions, and it's very action packed. But yeah, I was honestly considering putting Naruto first, just because of like how much like the initial like reread, like how much excitement it brought me and how much joy. But then I would say like I don't love each volume equally, and also because I didn't reach my goal, it felt wrong to place it as number 1, if you like can follow my thought process for that. But yeah, but I'm excited to like get to it and actually finish it in 2024. So taking the #1 spot for 2023 is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. As I stated earlier, there is no clear-cut #1 because there is no best of the best. It's just all like I like equally about the same amount. But how I came to select A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is I explored the initial rating I gave it in addition to like how I feel about it currently. Initially I gave A Good Girl's Guide to Murder 5 stars. I thought it was super fun. The mystery was just really great. It follows a girl, Pep, who for her high school project decides to investigate a previous murder case that happened in her town 5 years ago. And the reason why I decided to pick up this book was because I saw stills for the movie adaptation and the cast looks fantastic, and I was like, ooh, I should read the book before the movie comes out, which is what I did, and I will definitely watch the movie because once again I think the cast looks great. And I just remember like reading and being like, wow, this is really good. Wow, the mystery's really great. I'm engaged. I'm invested. And then finishing it and being like, yeah, I want to continue with the rest of the series. With that said, I will finish the series in 2024 and we'll definitely pick up more from this author. That's it. That is the end of the best books I read in 2023 list ranking countdown. So the next video will be the opposite, which is obviously the worst. So outro time, like, comment, subscribe. See you in my next video whenever that is. Bye.